I never get this idea. People are always trying to say the whole thing about who can get to the lightest, and that whole marathon is so weird. So we have this brown skinned girl here freaking out because I think she was mad at my photo, because the photo she saw was of me basically trying to make my photo look really outstanding, basically. And anytime I make my photo look outstanding, people always think I'm trying to make myself look lighter, period. See, prettier doesn't mean lighter. In fact, in that photo, specifically the photo I used, um, I'm actually using a tanner. In the Face app, I use a filter, basically, I guess you could say, that makes me look darker. And you can see the before and the after effect. You can see I'm actually darker. And I think people get jealous of this situation because they want to have the features I have in that photo, and I can make my face look like that in real life. It's just how it is, you know. If you put makeup on, you look differently, you know. And that's what I did there. I just basically applied makeup, and so I look differently. And I look more, I guess you could say, ambiguous in that photo. And, the main ones who I trigger generally when it comes to my skin tone and my phenotype is light skinned black women. Because, honestly, the reality is they look more black than I do, I think. And I think that's why they're mad, because they look more black than I do. And it's more so seen as a bad thing to them. They think being black is a bad thing. For me, I don't see it as a bad thing. For me, it's just kind of like when I put contour on, when I put eyeliner on and some eyelashes on, I'm gonna look a lot more ethnically, I guess, sort of ambiguous, you know. But that's not my fault. It's just what happens when I put on makeup, you know. Your features kind of do get distorted when you put on makeup. So, I mean, like, is that really a problem? But the only reason it's a problem for me is because my features are a bit more on the edge than theirs. Their features are a lot more softer and rounder and wider. So, they have that issue, basically. But I wanted to talk about this because they were trying to say that I wanted to be light skinned, and I'm like, I never call myself light skinned, I call myself brown skinned. Um, but if we really want to talk about that, you really think I want to look like this lady or the lady before or the lady that's coming out over a dark skinned woman that I'm showing? No, I'll just tell you. I think that dark skinned black women are prettier than light skinned black women. Okay? I think you guys knew that already, but it's like for some reason you guys always need me to kind of remind you that, and I've tried to say it in other ways, explaining that I feel in a way like I have lesser features than dark skinned black women, and how I've tried to darken my skin. I've tried to make my features look more Afrocentric, like my lips. And, you know, I think a lot of the time people just want to believe that their own insecurities are shared by other people. So, see, black people who have the idea that lighter is better always see themselves as inferior because white people are lighter than all of us. So they vehemently feel than 85% of the population, which that lets you know that they don't love themselves and they feel, like everybody else needs to share this pain, basically. And it's like, for me personally, that's not my pain. My pain is honestly not having features that are acceptable to dark-skinned black women, to society as a whole that basically view dark-skinned black women as the standard. That's a major reason why when I talk about representation, it really does hit home, because for me it's like a lot of the time I feel like with representation, a lot of dark-skinned women are represented, and people like me are really kind of taken a back burner, and we're kind of treated like we're not as proper of dark-skinned black image as dark-skinned black people are, basically. And we are kind of just like a knockoff, basically. And so you have to make up for it in another way, or you have to try and find another avenue where you are more appealing. And everyone is beautiful in their own way, and I've tried to pave that way for myself. Now, on the level of the person accusing me of basically saying I was light-skinned, or me saying I'm light-skinned, I've never really tried to push that I was light-skinned. I've always said I'm brown-skinned. But the problem that I have is this. When you say Tyra Banks is light-skinned, then I have no choice but to say I'm light-skinned too. Because my complexion is exactly the same as Halle Berry's in the winter. And I showed some photos of myself before and after with a photo that I was accused of supposedly using a filter on. You can see me naturally with my complexion there, and my complexion is a light brown hue. Similar to Halle Berry's. She's a 370 and Fenty, so am I. And I live in Nevada, where we always tan year-round. When I don't have any sun exposure for like a good 2 months, like in Grand Rapids winter, I'm like Rihanna's color. I can get very, very pale brown. I still consider that brown-skinned, though. So, yeah. In some contexts, I might say that I'm light-skinned. When I'm talking about someone being light-skinned, that's my color. So if we're talking about Rihanna being light-skinned, then I will talk about being light-skinned, because in that context, we're basically saying that people her color experience this or that, and I'm going to tell you my experience as someone her color, period. I don't really see her as light-skinned. I don't see myself as light-skinned. I don't see the person who commented as light-skinned. Now, on the accusation of me using filters on my videos, you can quite clearly see I am not using filters. If I was using filters, wouldn't I try to make my nose at least smaller in these filters? Because, my nose is really distorted in these videos, because I'm up close to the video, like the phone or the laptop in some cases. So, if I was trying to use a filter, I would just probably distort my facial features too, and I don't. And I'm showing photos where I'm not using any makeup and in different lighting. One is in a room where there's only one light. The very bright one, that's actually the most recent photo of me, is in the bathroom. And in the bathroom, that's how I always look, in a well-lit bathroom. That's just how my skin looks. It's very pale looking like that, and it's ugly as fuck. I think that when you are lighter, it's not a prettier feature. I've always said when I lose my tan, I feel a little bit more insecure, and like I have to stay wearing foundation, basically. I don't like to see my skin in its natural tone, and when I say that natural tone. I mean, like, my lightest hue. Like, when I'm, like, Rihanna's color, basically. Like, in a Grand Rapids winter. It's not a very pretty look, in my opinion. But I'm happy to have skin, so I won't complain. But I'm just saying, in this video, someone was trying to claim that I wanted to be light-skinned, and I'm here to assure you, no. I have a hard time coping with the fact that I'm light brown and not dark-skinned, which I find more attractive and more feminine than what I am. So why would I want to struggle more? That doesn't mean I hate light-skinned people. I think that light-skinned people can be beautiful in their own way. But the accusation of me wanting to be light-skinned is outlandish when I never call myself light-skinned. I always call myself brown-skinned, and I've always said my main insecurity is actually being too light for dark skin. Or at least being like Brandy's color, period. Brandy is a very pretty color, period. That would be a very ideal color, period. I'm sorry, I'm really, really tired here. I'm so sorry if I'm stumbling through this, but it's almost 12 o'clock and I'm trying to finish 2 more videos. So, I just wanted to chime in with that. Like I said, my previous photo to the photo that was in question, I'm not trying to make my photo lighter or anything of that nature. I'm honestly actually making my photos darker. And when I make my photos darker, it makes my features more narrow. And that's what makes you guys more mad. But, yeah, it's not a skin tone issue. This is why I actually prefer to wear darker foundation, period. Because it snatches in my features, period. But yeah, that's all I have to say in this video. So I'm gonna be done. And thanks for watching, guys. Bye!